What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Lesser Athletes. My name is Chadwell, and today, like always, another interesting video for you here on the channel. Today is a Raw review. I am recording this, like always, 20-ish minutes. It's 22 minutes after Raw. Here's my initial reactions, my predictions. Also, background has changed again. If you know my older videos, you probably know this background. If you don't, then go look at them. But again, I talked about it in my draft lottery where I was at a different location, probably going to be more at that location, that I am currently in the process of moving. So I'm going, back and forth all these places, but I'm still going to record the content for you guys today. So yeah, let's get started. The first thing we're going to be talking about today is Drew McIntyre and kind of the whole promo he kind of cut. It is interesting to think about because when he first did get injured and they kind of were talking about, Drew McIntyre's injured. They said this would keep him off television. He's not going to be on television for a while. Clearly a lie now, because this is all cap. We've seen him in now multiple promos with CM Punk, without CM Punk, today without CM Punk. But he's going to be involved, probably cutting nonstop promos while he's injured. But this man was, first off, he was cooking CM Punk. He did make sense when talking about Punk, where how Punk is running away, how Punk... The line of saying like Punk's a junkie or a drug addict, something like that, and without using drugs is insane. But then Drew starts talking about Jey Uso, which is very interesting. I have a theory with that I'll talk about after. But then, of course, he talks about Damian Priest. He always is going to talk about the guy that took it all away from him. Damian Priest comes out and he cooks his ass. I mean, he's spitting every single fact about how Damian was talking about how Drew said everything Damian was going to do. Drew tried to, or Damian was trying to get on to the briefcase and the championship from Seth Rollins multiple times. I mean, I still remember when he stopped to cash in with Dominic Mysterio, grabbed him through the briefcase. I remember when he hit him with a Claymore when he was about to cash in. There were some other times too that I'm thinking of. So there, he had all the chances to get Seth Rollins, and Drew even said that you should cash in on me if I would win this because he's like being cocky that I'm gonna win, then you can cash in on me, which he did, and Drew got accepts with CM Punk in the past couple months. The crazy part of him saying even like Punk's more important than his wife, that was how you cannot let someone say that to you. But they're going to give this championship to Drew, in my opinion. I've been saying, well, I wasn't making WWE content, but I've been saying with my friends and everything that chances are we're going to see before WrestleMania, probably like a week before WrestleMania. I said my biggest prediction was, or I guess wasn't a huge prediction, because, all the Cody Rhodes stuff. My biggest prediction with the heavyweight title was Seth Rollins is going to lose to Drew because he cared about, the junkie story with him. Drew's going to go against... Drew's going to win it. He's going to get cashed in on immediately by Damian Priest. Drew's going to lose it. Damian Priest is going to win it. I never thought the CM Punk thing would interfere, but of course it did. Then the plan would be at Clash of Castle, Drew would win it against from Damian Priest in front of his home crowd in Scotland. Now, what I was talking about earlier when he mentioned Jey Uso, I think there is going to be a world where Drew goes against Jey Uso in the future, maybe SummerSlam, and maybe loses it. I think there's a chance. Well, actually, that's a lie. I think that it could be against CM Punk. That's another thing I think that's going to happen because they're going to go for the title. But I do think there's a chance that Jey Uso is going to be the one that takes it off Drew McIntyre because Jey Uso is destined to have a title coming up here soon. And, I think it's going to be closer than what people think. Up next, we're going to be talking about Io Sky versus Shayna Baszler. I'm really sad Maxine Dupree wasn't the one in this match. This is also a Queen of the Ring match. I did think Selena Vega was going to advance in this tournament because they have to make the winner look good. So this is really like the Queen of the Ring tournament makes sense. So I thought maybe Maxine Dupree taking the spot, Maxine Dupree would do it because I think pushing Maxine Dupree does bolster the women's division a little more. But instead they went into Shayna Baszler winning and going past it. But when I look at this match, I feel like Io Sky will go deep in here. Before this match even started, so I already was expecting Io Sky to win, which she did. But I also think that she could win this tournament outright. Being somebody that comes into Raw, they would really love, I think, somebody that enters Raw, becomes a huge contender, and immediately joins in. I also really like this match just in a standpoint of view. Shayna really showed her dominance with her technician, while Io Sky looked good and still looks like an amazing player in the women's division. Up next, we have Carlito potentially being a member of Judgment Day. Not going to probably happen. Just going to be somebody that is on this side character like an R-Truth, but ultimately is going to go solo, do his own thing. I think that's mostly what they will need to do with Carlito. Could this actually be somebody that breaks up Judgment Day? I could see that. But I want to talk about this because Carlito, with the mustache shaved, looks way younger. 1, 2, looks completely different. WWE tweeted out a thing saying, "Oh, so that's where Dominic got the mustache." That is hilarious. But there's no way Carlito is going to join Judgment Day. I think he's purely here just to stir the pot. This new Chad Gable is so perfect on so many levels. I mean, his ability in the backstage segment, what we're going to be talking with Alpha Academy, that was hilarious. Saying to Tozawa, talking to Otis, saying, I better not see you do the dances. I swear to God, if I see you do the dances, calling Maxine Dupree Taylor Not So Swift, he is on his crazy Pert Gable storyline. I really want to see an IC title on him, and I'm just hoping. I'm really just hoping. Up next, we have Kofi versus Gunther, another King of the Ring tournament match. Now, Kofi, he was on that hater shit first off at the beginning of the match. Kofi does not want to get in a disrespectful match with Gunther, and right when I was typing this in my notes, Gunther immediately destroyed this man. I mean, immediately one chop, throwing him, getting him ready. Also, Gunther, anytime he goes off the top rope, I cannot just stop, not laugh. He looks so goofy coming off the top rope. It's just not what Gunther is, but it's still just so funny to me. But I do love Gunther's ability to just be like a technician in the ring, have great technician moves. It's so nice. But let's talk about the finish, because another Boston Crab from Xavier Woods, now Kofi, also making Sheamus submit. They are making Gunther look like the real submission magician, insanely a crazy story arc right now. His ability to be, he's going to be one of these big up and coming players. I mean, right now he just looks insane. He looks like there's no one that can stop him. The power, a power bomb to a Boston Crab, that is insane. And the only thing that I wish I saw from this match was Kofi's breaking point. Because if we had a moment where Kofi just tried to destroy Gunther after injured, he's walking off, he just comes and hits him in the back of the head and starts going crazy. Or Xavier Woods came out of nowhere and just was hits him with one of his crunches, something like that. I don't know. I just wanted a breaking point. And I'm going to throw this in here because it's technically talking about Gunther and I don't want to just talk about Solo. Ludwig Kaiser's promo, that was nice. That man deserves a solo run. He was able to cut an amazing promo with talking about Gunther, talking about Ilya Dragunov even. Sheamus, I'm not shocked if we see a Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser in the future, but Ludwig Kaiser, man, he could be a good solo run guy. Next up, we have Bronson Reed versus Tozawa. I immediately knew when you see this that Alpha Academy's going to lose. They're hinting at the breakup of Alpha Academy. There's no way that they're going to make someone that's in the Intercontinental title for King of the Ring, Queen and King of the Ring in Saudi, have them lose. But I will say the Death Valley Driver was beautiful by Bronson Reed. But you knew this was going to be a quick match. Tozawa could fool anybody, but you knew that something was going on. The only thing I was shocked about was Chad Gable entering the ring and Bronson Reed not destroying him. Up next, we have Lyra Valkyria versus Zoe Stark. Lyra is proving herself that she could be a main player in the future for the women's division. If the women's division would have a mid-card title coming out soon, I would say I think Lyra Valkyria is going to be someone that could win it immediately. I think what they're doing with the North American title for NXT is going to test that to see how well that does, and then maybe they get it in the main roster. Give her a year or two, and I think she's going to be one of those title holders. I really do. this match was good. I'm glad to see the crowd like actually knowing her like entrance, being involved with her. Already some sign of some star power with that. But the counter from the Z360 with Zoe Stark into a Nightwing was beautiful. Something that you like to see. And I kind of knew Lyra Valkyria was going to win. There was just no way they were going to let Zoe Stark beat Lyra Valkyria and have Zoe Stark in the finale for Raw. It just didn't make sense, especially when Lyra Valkyria is going to be such a important player when it comes to Becky Lynch and damage control. Next up, we have Sami Zayn versus Otis in another match that there was no way Otis was going to win. You could show that he was going to be some crazy movement, whatever it could be. There was no chance he was going to win. First off, Sami Zayn's Intercontinental Championship. They're not going to let him win. Next, he has a match against Chad Gable. But yeah, and this match was still funny as hell. I mean, you knew the minute that Otis had the chance to get the worm that he was going to do the worm. I like the back and forth with Chad Gable, whatever. It was so funny to look at Chad Gable go and just watch him do the worm. But I really thought this match was going to end on a roll-up where it kind of looked like he was going, after he did the worm, that he was looking at Chad Gable and Chad Gable was yelling at him, and what was going to happen was Sami Zayn would come up and roll up and win on him. But instead, a haluva kick, of course, and Otis is gone. I think it was really good. But let's talk about the ending of that, because I thought Sami Zayn was going to get his ass beat by maybe Chad Gable to like further boost Chad Gable, or Sami Zayn potentially winning. But I'm starting to feel like there is a chance of Chad Gable really, winning this title. I hope it happens. But I'm a little bit more shocked that it actually would happen, especially now in a 1v1 situation. But after the match, Chad Gable, of course, hitting Otis. And I don't think I've ever been this sad recently with watching a Raw episode, seeing Otis not do anything. I just was like, come on, man. Hit him back, fully break up Alpha Academy. I think next week, there's a match against Sami Zayn and Chad Gable. I was going to say, I think maybe like, no matter what that match is ending, disqualification from Bronson Reed. I'm going to call that now, whatever. What's probably going to happen is like, I just want to throw this out here. They try and they do the match, whatever, it doesn't work. Maybe Alpha Academy's on his side. He's asking for help and they don't help him. Something's going to happen next week. I just feel like something's going to happen, or something before his Intercontinental Championship. It's just something. Up next, we have Becky versus Dakota Kai, and this match, and just this past couple of weeks with Dakota Kai has proven that she does deserve a push. I think her mic skills is great. She has great in-ring capabilities too. I think Dakota Kai can help, especially if you want to put some spotlight on her really soon. Maybe this is a Money in the Bank holder. Maybe this is something else. Maybe she wins a tournament, whatever it might be. This is someone that I think is going to just, there's so much people that they need to booster the women's division. I think she could help with this. I am shocked that this match ended with a DQ. I guess it makes sense in the way that, it is a championship match. They are not championship match, championship holder. Maybe they just, whatever, didn't want Dakota Kai to get the loss, whatever. But with the DQ, the minute I saw Becky Lynch was jumping, I already knew Lyra Valkyria was on the way. I knew that there was going to be a confrontation with Io Sky and Lyra Valkyria. What I didn't expect was Liv Morgan to come out of nowhere and destroy Becky Lynch. That was funny. And then just walking away like nothing happened. We'll have to see what happens next week, because I do think that there is a chance that Liv Morgan wins. What's it called? Wins the championship from Becky Lynch, but every day we get closer, I don't know. I just don't know. Next, we have the Fatal 4-Way to see who's the number one contender for the Raw Tag Team titles. And you already knew these huge Fatal 4-Ways matches. They always give us some bangers, something that is already showing out. But I really want a Creed Brothers push. I really do. If that's with Chad Gable and making them like some crazy players in this game, please do that. I also thought that the Superplex with Julian Creed was going to be, with Finn, was going to be it. And we were going to get the Creed brothers going against for the Raw tag team titles, which I was 100% down for. I mean, if they get a chance, they win it. And then, you see Chad Gable talking to them. Then maybe Chad Gable's with Intercontinental Championship. Maybe they start making a faction, whatever it be. I would love that too. we already knew Tyler Bate was going to come with some spins like he always did. He did it last time with AOP. It happened again with AOP. But did I expect Carlito to come out of nowhere and help Judgment Day? Not really. Not something I expected, but the minute I saw Judgment Day in this Fatal 4-Way, I thought, okay, there was going to be some type of win unless someone sabotaged Judgment Day, which I did think could be a possibility, but it looks like it was actually them sabotaging for a win. And lastly, the main event of the night, Jey Uso versus Ilya Dragunov. I'm happy this was the main event. When I talked about last week that I was so excited for this match, I was excited today knowing that I was going to see this match. Now, did I overhype this match? This match was very good, don't get me wrong, but I do think that I kind of overhyped it. I feel like could be a little bit more that happened during the match. I'm not going to act like, Ilya Dragunov is God and that Jey Uso, is God and that they can never have bad matches. This was a very good match, wasn't an amazing match that I was holding them to the standard of. I do think that there could have been a little bit more, but I definitely feel like I overhyped this match a lot. Maybe build more suspense. It did feel kind of, random, whatever. I was hoping for some more, a Torpedo Moscow, another H-bomb maybe a spear, frog splash kick out before, but instead, no, but it was still a good match overall. They're both two people that I love, two people I won't hate. Up next, we have all of our Uncle Howdy things for the week, like we always do here. The QR code today led to a website that has 20 images. You can see right there, 20 images, and all these images are the same rhymes we have seen, where it's like, do you want to meet him? Do you want to see? You're not looking hard enough. Look here, whatever. One of them said that I first hated him or something, and then I listened to him. I believed in him, and then it worked. Probably talking about Bray Wyatt, and then now Uncle Howdy. But then the last four, I think were the weirdest ones. One's just a mirror, looks kind of goofy. One is a the next one I think is the face. Is it the face? Or is it... No, I think it's the article. Okay, so there's an article that is like this woman is missing by whatever. And I think it's like Wendy something. And that it's an anagram for Uncle Howdy, which is very interesting itself. Then the 17th picture, I think. 17th? Was it 17th or 18th? I think 18th? 19th? One of them, it shows a screenshot of a picture from a little bit ago that a lot of people were saying was a face, but now they're kind of re-adding it into here, which now I do agree it could have been a face. A lot of people thought that last week, but I wasn't really 100% sure on it. Now the interesting thing was the last picture, the last photo here, right here, it says on kind of these words, and then it says something may drops a video, something like that is going to happen on 5/16 on 2024 this Thursday at 4. Now, is that 4 Eastern? Probably. So it's probably going to happen 3 Central Time, which I'm a part of. What could this be? It also at the bottom says T and then which. So I'm guessing maybe Twitch, maybe something on there. Maybe this is something else and it's which base, whatever it might be. But the thing that I picked up is that the link is on the top. You can even see that I took this thing because you see my little Google account right there. The link for it has a date on it, but it's not technically a date. It's because it's all these photos go into a number order, and this is 20th photo on May. But it's labeled May 20th, 2024. So, like, that's next week, next Raw. Is that something? I don't know. I'm just throwing this out here trying to show. But also tonight, there was someone with a Pluto sign and a Nightbird sign multiple times in the crowd. Probably a fan. Want to throw it out there. But I'm excited to see. I think, because I remember last week I was talking about the intro that kept cutting out, and CM Punk got replaced by Sister Abigail, which I didn't even notice. I kept saying I was trying to look and I couldn't really see anything. Sister Abigail did get into there. There's a girl that at least was wedded. Now, which is very interesting. There's been a lot of things that, like, the link last week had rabbits and the names of the puppets with Uncle Howdy. I'm excited to see what could come of this. But yeah, other than that, I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.